This is the Riding Times 1500-watt electric bike, a moped-style rig with a long bench seat, chunky 20x4 fat tires, and a big moto-style headlight. The carbon steel frame gives it a muscular silhouette that sits taller and beefier than a typical city e-bike. It looks like a small e-moto, and on the road it kind of behaves like one too. Key features that stood out to me are the 750-watt nominal hub motor that peaks at 1500 watts, full suspension front and rear, a removable 48-volt battery system with multiple capacity options, and on this Z8 Pro trim, dual hydraulic disc brakes. Mine is the dual 15.6 Wh setup with the included 10L rear rack bag, so think of it as the longer range configuration. There's a 7-speed drivetrain, a clear color display, and the long cushy saddle that lets me shift my position easily for comfort. The frame is rated for riders from around 5'3" to 6'1" and up to 330 pounds, which gives a lot of folks a green light to ride. From my experience, assembly is simple but not something I'd gloss over. It comes mostly pre-built, but I still had to inflate the tires, install a few bits, and go over the bolts. I always do a full bolt check after shipping on any heavy e-bike, and that habit paid off here. Plan on a careful first setup, and you'll be fine. The battery locks to the frame and pops out with a key, which is great if you charge indoors or park outside. The first ride told me exactly what this bike is about. Twist the throttle and it spools up with strong push, and I saw real-world top speeds around 28 to 31 mph on flat ground, depending on wind and battery level. It doesn't leap like a dirt bike, but the pull is smooth and confident. There's a tiny pause before the power hits when I use the throttle, roughly a second, which takes a day or two to get used to. The pedal assist is cadence-based, so it senses when the cranks turn and then brings in power. That feels natural enough at chill speeds, but there's a small lag compared to a torque sensor, and above roughly 25 mph, the 7-speed drivetrain can't keep up, so pedaling stops contributing much. That ghost pedaling effect is common on moped-style e-bikes with short gearing. I just lean on the throttle at higher speed and keep it simple. The ride quality is what surprised me most. The front hydraulic fork and dual rear shocks, plus those big 4-inch tires, take the sting out of broken pavement, speed bumps, and gravel washboards. The long seat spreads the pressure and keeps me upright and relaxed. It's not a premium, highly tunable suspension like you'd see on a high-end mountain bike, but it's absolutely comfortable. I'm about average weight, and I might soften the rear spring if I could. Lighter riders may feel the shocks are a bit stiff out of the box, but most folks will call this setup plush. Braking is strong and predictable on the Z8 Pro's hydraulic discs. That's the right choice for a machine that can flirt with 30 mph and weighs what this one weighs. Modulation feels good in the levers, bite is consistent, and stopping power builds quickly without needing a gorilla grip. I've ridden similar models with mechanical brakes and they work, but this hydraulic setup is more confidence-inspiring, especially on a long downhill or when a car does something unexpected. Let's talk weight and size, because it matters. This bike is heavy. With a steel frame and big tires, plus a dual battery option, you're looking at a serious mass that I won't muscle upstairs. Rolling it around the garage is fine, lifting it is not. In my opinion, if you live in a walk-up apartment or plan to load it into a small car often, this isn't the bike for that lifestyle. But the flip side is stability. Once it's rolling, the weight anchors the bike to the ground. On gravel and sand, it tracks straight. In city traffic, it feels planted. The handling is better than it looks, and the low center of gravity helps it feel steady at speed. Range depends on how you ride. The brand's numbers are optimistic if you hold high speed or use a lot of throttle, which most of us do on a moped-style bike. With a single 15.6 battery and heavy throttle, I've seen 25 to 40 miles. Ride smarter with pedal assist in the mid-levels, cruise in the low 20s, and you can stretch well past that. With the dual 15.6 setup, casual pass riding can reach long-day distances, but I still plan my rides using conservative math. Charging from low to full takes me about 6 to 8 hours on the standard charger, so I leave it overnight and it's ready in the morning. I wish it charged faster, but that's the trade-off for capacity. The cockpit is straightforward. The color display is bright enough for daytime and lets me bump assist up or down quickly. I like that the long seat pairs with a reasonably upright bar position. I didn't need to hunch over, and my wrists and back stayed happy. The 10L rack bag is handy for tools, a lock, and a small jacket. I'd add lights at the rear if you plan to commute, and keep a mini pump and a plug kit on board, because fat tires invite adventure, and adventure finds nails. On the road, it has a distinct personality. Calm, cushy, and capable. I've used it for a grocery run, for carving a canal path, and for a morning sprint across town. It's not twitchy, it's not delicate, and it doesn't try to be a featherweight fitness bike. It's closer to a compact e-moto that happens to have pedals. And if that's what you want, you'll smile every time you twist the throttle. It handles rough alleys, dirt connectors, and winter-chewed pavement far better than skinny-tire commuters. The big tires float over sand patches and bite into loose stuff that would bounce a normal bike. It's perfect for riders who want a sturdy, powerful e-bike that feels comfortable on mixed surfaces, who have ground floor storage or a garage, and who like the idea of hopping on, cruising fast, and not worrying about potholes. From my experience, the sweet spot is using it as a daily runabout and weekend explorer. It can commute, it can hit mellow trails, and it can carry a bit of cargo without drama. There are quirks. The small throttle delay is real. The pass lag exists. Above 25 mph, pedaling is mostly for show, and it's heavy. None of that is a deal breaker for me because the overall package still adds up to a relaxing, fun, and confidence-building ride. If those quirks bug you, you might look for a torque sensor bike with taller gearing and a lighter frame, but you'll give up the moped stance and that cushy feel. I'd recommend this for someone who values comfort and power over easy lifting, who wants hydraulic brakes and full suspension in a rugged chassis, and who doesn't mind basic setup and occasional tinkering. If you're brand new to e-bikes, this will feel like a lot of machine at first, but the learning curve is short. Start in a low assist mode, get used to the brakes, and build up from there. In my opinion, the Riding Times 1500-watt full suspension bike delivers strong value with its motor, suspension, and brakes. And the Z8 Pro dual battery option takes range anxiety off the table for many riders. The long seat, the fat tires, and the steel frame all push it toward go anywhere, ride comfortable, rather than light and nimble. And that's exactly the point. In conclusion, this is a big, tough, comfortable e-bike that rides like a small e-moto, and it does that job very well. If the weight and size fit your space and routine, it's an easy bike to love. If not, no amount of power will fix the wrong storage situation. Know your use case, and this will treat you right. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, drop your questions or experiences in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching.